Hey guys, welcome to the live chat, or in this case, welcome to the replay of the live chat because I am here all by myself again today. I just wanted to go over some tips and tricks for how to find success on today's assignment, which is poetry analysis. I would imagine that you guys have probably done a little bit of poetry work in the past. What I'm hoping for us to do today is to really elevate the level of analysis that we have with our poetry. Um, and recognizing it's not enough just to be able to say, oh, there's a poetic device and there's a poetic device, lots of poetic devices. Why are we using these poetic devices? How do they impact our understanding of what the meaning of the poem is? I know it's like we're practicing this skill over and over again, right? We did it with Of Mice and Men when we said, "Hey, look at all the changes that happened from the book to the movie. Why did they do this? How did it impact our understanding?" This is the analysis part, ladies and gents. As we're moving into these upper level grade 11, grade 12 classes, these are the skills that we're working on because these are the critical thinking skills that are going to get us through life, right? As we become adults, or if you're already an adult, these are the skills that you are hopefully using already on an everyday basis, right? So I'm just going to share my screen. Oh, come on. This is being really funky right now. I don't know why. Let me move that up. Okay, share my screen. Share. Okay. Oh, there. Technology is so slow. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to looking at the lesson here for you guys. As I said, you're going to be doing poetry analysis. So as you go through the lesson, the first thing that you're learning is about different types of literary devices and poetic devices. So you might have heard of things like symbols and maybe similes and metaphors. These are some of the poetic devices that we're working with for today and tomorrow's assignment. So if you would like to learn a little bit more about these poetic devices, if you feel like, oh, I'm not really sure what these are, this is the lesson here. So if you go through this little slideshow, it gives you definitions of a whole bunch of different poetic devices. Some of them might look very familiar to you. Some of them might be brand spanking new, and that's okay. So you can look at them through here. I also give examples in the slideshow that I created. If you are more of a visual person, you can watch this video. And what this video is just little snippets from relatively new pop culture music where they point out lines from the song and they say, this is this type of device. That's part of what you're going to be doing with today's assignment. So to check your understanding on what literary and poetic devices are, you're going to do the quick little quiz just to see that you know and you understand what they all are. Okay, as for the assignment itself, you are going to be creating a screencast video. That's exactly actually what I'm doing right now for this video that you're watching, is I'm just doing a little cast over the computer screen that I have so that you are going to be showing me what you're looking at on your screen, and you are going to be doing voiceover or narrating over top of the screen exactly as I'm doing right now. There are a few different tools that you can use for this. I am right now using Screencast-O-Matic. I'm using the free version, and you get 15 minutes at a time to do videos, which I think should be more than enough time to complete this assignment. Alternatively, you could use Screencastify. That's a cool app that works as an extension with Chrome. The thing I don't like about that one as much is you only get 10 free minutes at a time. So I'm always usually opting for Screencast-O-Matic because you get 5 extra minutes. And if you're wordy like I am and you never know how to shut up, then that's probably your best bet, right? So if you watch this video here, this is an exemplar, something that I have personally created that will show you exactly what you should be doing in your assignment. I'm going to do that with this video too, though, just so that I can give you an extra shot, an extra example to see exactly how this works. So you are creating a video. For this, you are going to need to have a microphone-enabled computer. So I know a few of you have come to me previously saying that you have some tech issues with with not having a microphone enabled on your computer. It's so important that you have this, ladies and gentlemen, because as I've mentioned before, 25% of our curriculum is all about oral communication. And I need to, at least once in this course, and that's the whole point of this assignment, is to hear you and see how well you can communicate verbally. If your computer doesn't have a mic enabled, there are alternatives. If you have an iPhone, there's a feature on your iPhone where you can actually do a screencast on your phone. So you might have to Google instructions for how to do that. But it is doable, and I have personally done it before. And once you Google the instructions, it's pretty easy to do. So you might end up having to do this assignment off of your iPhone if you have. If you have an Android, I can't necessarily speak to what the capabilities are there. I'm sure there's some type of app because this is 2019 and we're really lucky in that way. So yeah, it has to be, I need to have your voice somehow, okay? Alternatively, I suppose if you didn't want to do a screencast, but I don't know, you could do like a some other like a Prezi perhaps where you're inserting audio on top of your slides and your explanations. That could also work as well. I need you, however, to show me where you are looking at your poetic devices within your poetry, and I need you to absolutely be giving me verbal explanation of this. Okay, it's a key integral part of the assignment. If you don't do the oral communication part, you will have huge chunks of your mark deducted. So it's very important. Okay, I just want to make that super clear. Okay, so as you go through, what are you going to be doing? Well, you are going to be picking a poem. Doesn't have to be a traditional like Wordsworth poem or a Keats poem. It doesn't, you don't have to necessarily be super deep with the poem that you choose. It could be song lyrics. I'm a big believer that songs are just modern day poetry, right? Set to music. And in this example, in this video here, I'm going to go through a song and I'm going to show you exactly what you need to be doing. So in your poem, first of all, you need to figure out what is the poem trying to say? Like we've been focusing on this concept of theme and message with quite a few of our units so far, specifically with the Of Mice and Men unit. So what is the poem trying to say? What's the overall message? Once you have figured that out, then you need to find poetic devices used within the lyrics or within the lines of the poem that somehow reinforce what you think that message is. So you need to find at least 5 poetic or literary devices within your song or poem. And of those 5, you need to be finding at least 3 types. So what I mean by this is don't just show me 5 examples of a symbol. If you do that, you're only showing me that you only know what a symbol is. I want to see that you understand lots of different poetic devices and how they work. So you need at least, and that's at least. You can certainly go above that expectation and do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's up to you. And of those examples, you need to have 3 different types. Now, as I said, it's not enough just to say this is a metaphor. You need to explain how that metaphor contributes to your understanding of the theme of the poem. So I have an example here. This is a relatively new song called Juice by an American rapper singer called Lizzo. You might have heard of it. So, the overall message of this song is basically one of body positivity and loving yourself. Specifically, if with regards to this singer, songwriter, rapper, is it has to do with her weight as well. Is that traditionally, lots of people don't necessarily see big girls as beautiful girls or confident girls, and she's trying to say that look at me in all my big beautiful glory. And the song kind of feeds into that idea is that big girls are beautiful. It's all about positivity. Okay, so if that's my message, all of my devices need to feed into that. So for your video, I would strongly suggest that much as I have pre-set up this page with lyrics and stuff on it, you also do the same thing because how you organize your screencast video is part of your mark. I want you to have kind of like a little introduction to the poem, and then I want to visually be able to see things, and it's easy to do it if you do it like this. I'm using a Google Doc. So you can notice on the side here, I have a little box that says metaphor, juice is slang for respect. So all I did to insert that is, well, let's go over here. So the word juice in hip hop culture is a metaphor, meaning it's kind of like a comparison. And basically juice means respect or influence or authority or sexual desire. This really feeds into this overall theme, which is that you got to love yourself and big girls can be beautiful too, right? Okay, next line here. How you might want to physically do your video is like this. So I've color coded this line here and I'm highlighting it. What I do after I highlight is I go to Insert, Comment. Now here is where I can type up my little explanations, and you will be using these little comment boxes kind of like as your liner notes so that when you're creating your video, you remember the points that you wanted to make and you're not stumbling so much in your video. So here, this is an example of an allusion, which of course is a nod back to a more famous text. And in particular, this is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Okay, so I can click comment and it leaves it there and you can see it sort of color code everything there. So mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? You might remember that the evil witch in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs used to have that little mirror that she would ask. And basically she was always looking for the mirror to say that she was the most beautiful. She was always looking for other people to validate how important she felt as a beautiful woman. So there's an illusion here. Lizzo is pointing back to this famous fairy tale that everybody knows about. But what she's saying here in her song kind of goes contrary or juxtaposes that illusion that she's referring to. So instead of expecting the mirror to confirm how beautiful she is, she says, don't say it because I know I'm cute. Ooh, baby. She doesn't need no mirror to tell her how beautiful she is. She's already got that juice. She's already got that authority, influence. She recognizes how beautiful she is already. Here, I have another one. LV is, of course, referring to Louis Vuitton. So if I highlight that and go to Insert, comment, I'm going to call this a symbol. And it is a symbol for wealth. And part of how does this connect to the theory or the theme of loving yourself is she's connecting this really high fashion brand to herself. It's kind of pushback because a lot of big girls don't necessarily have access to high fashion brands. They usually cater to smaller women. So this is her saying, listen, even as a big girl, I got all these high fashion, wealthy brands that I'm connected to. That helps me feel positive and beautiful. I'm going to go through and show you a couple more. I'm like Chardonnay, get better over time. This would be an example of a simile. It's a comparison using the words like or as. So she is saying that like Chardonnay, this type of wine, I get better over time. She's trying to, again, feed into the body positivity theme and saying, you know what, lots of people think old chicks that are getting older are not as beautiful, that beauty belongs to the young people. And what she's saying is, oh no, people that are bigger, people that are older, we all have the ability to be beautiful. We just have to have body positivity. Here we have another example. She says, I'm the pudding in the proof. I thought this one was really interesting for a lot of different reasons. So I would probably go ahead and call this alliteration. So alliteration is, of course, the device where we see the repetition of beginning sounds. So pudding in the proof, we have the pup, pup, puh sound being repeated. Interestingly enough, this is also an illusion because you might have heard the saying, the proof is in the pudding, meaning you just have to see it and you'll believe it. And she's sort of taking that and she's punning on it. She's playing with it and saying not only is it the truth that she's beautiful, but she's flipping those words around. She's flipping the order and she says, I'm the pudding in the proof. She's calling herself pudding. Of course, that's a dessert. It's kind of fatty and jelly and rolly and delicious. And again, that feeds into the body positivity that she loves that she's a big girl, and it's part of why she's beautiful. So here's another one. No, I'm not a snack at all. Look, baby, I'm the whole damn meal. So of course we know that if you call someone a snack, it means that this is maybe kind of terrible, but you kind of want to taste them. And it's like, it's something that you say to somebody that you're attracted to, right? And she's saying, not only am I a snack, but I'm the whole damn meal. This is kind of a hyperbole mixed in with a metaphor here, because she's saying, as a big girl, I'm not just a little taste. I'm something that's going to fill you up. Again, body positivity. Okay, so in your video, you're going to do exactly what I've been doing here. I would say pre-set up all of these little comments on the side so you have liner notes, and then do your screencast. Another thing really quickly, because I only have a minute left, take a look at the principles of design. If you're having trouble figuring out why different poetic devices are being used, if you can connect them to the principles of design, you're good. Good luck!